Really important. Any other updates that the administration is giving on this front will be updated as we keep tracking that news for you. Thank you so much, Aditya. We are shifting our focus to some other news that's coming in. In more breaking news, more than 30 freight trains and cars have been derailed in Kentucky on 30th December, including at least one car that was actively leaking a dangerous chemical. The derailment occurred around 7 a.m. local time in a rural area of Todd County. Half a mile shelter-in-place order was issued and later lifted at 11 a.m. Aerial images show derailed freight cars against one another along the tracks in rural Kentucky, with several cars tipped onto their sides and debris scattered across nearby fields. Joining us on the broadcast for more than this is my colleague Brian Thomas. Brian, we are hearing of this derailment in Kentucky. If you can take us through the updates and details of that incident.
Well, yes, CSX freight train hauling 31 rail cars derailed in rural Todd County, Kentucky, near the very small city of Trenton, that is close to the Tennessee state line. Now, this occurred yesterday itself in the central line along US 41 at Treshop Road and the Dixie B line highway. Now, one of the derailed car was also carrying molten sulfur, which is, again, like you mentioned, yes, a highly flammable industrial chemical. Not only that, the rail car ruptured during the derailment, spilling molten sulfur and igniting a fire that sent smokes and potentially even hazardous fumes into the very air itself. Not only that, post that, yes, clearly emergency crews, including Hazmat teams and local fire department, responded there, and they were rather able to extinguish the fire and contain the sulfur leak. Post that, even the air quality test afterwards showed no continuing danger to the community. Local officials also issued a shelter-in-place order within a roughly half-mile radius of the derailment as a precautionary, while responders worked to contain the situation. Then even the order was lifted by around midday once the conditions deemed fit. Yes.
Brian, I'd request you to stay on with us. We have some more inputs on this story. A shelter in place is in effect as Hazmat crews responded to the train derailment in Todd County, Kentucky. In fact, it was lifted at 11 a.m. According to reports, nearly 20 cars carrying molten sulfur derailed, closing US 41 between Pembroke and Trenton. It was unclear how many cars made up the entire train, though many remained on the tracks and were not derailed. Multiple towns and state emergency management officials responded to the scene. No homes were immediately affected. So, Brian, we are talking about the damage caused and the homes that are in the vicinity being affected due to this.
Clearly, as of now, shelter-in-place even order remains in effect in Todd County, Kentucky. And post that, even clearly what we are getting to know, local emergency teams have been there, and nearly 20 cars loaded with molten sulfur are also reported to have derailed itself. And even this, as we are speaking, also the Hazmat teams, along with fire emergency responders from Hopkinsonville and even surrounding counties are working at the scene to contain chemical leaks and ensure the derailment area is secure. Even residents within the zone have been advised to stay indoors, turn off heating and air systems, and avoid outdoor exposure as crews are assessing and mitigating the very hazard. As of now, one good thing that no injuries have been reported so far. But again, clearly the derailment has also led to significant disruption, within authorities warning that US 41 may also remain closed for an extended period while cleanup and investigation continues. Yes.
Brian, if I can request you to stay on with us, we'll require